Hello, my name is Torchio Feaster, and here's today's Tidbit with Torchio. Many of you might not know, but my name is Torchio Feaster. I'm a local attorney, public defender, and now a candidate for 14A District Court Judge. In being a candidate for District Court Judge, you come across a lot of people, interact with a lot of residents, community members, and all kind of people who have different requests and desires for what they want to see a judge do. And so we recently had a debate hosted by the League of Women Voters, the Dispute Resolution Center, and the Washington County Bar Association. Thank you to those three organizations for hosting that venue. After that, I received a message from a community member in Western Washington County asking me about my perspective on restorative justice. And initially my thought was, when I saw the email, was, that's a main part of my platform. That's why I'm running to be a judge. So we can make things better in our communities. We can change the way the justice system interacts with our communities and reduce the school-to-prison pipeline to take us from being one of the most incarcerated industrial countries in the world and reducing that substantially. So initially I thought, I know restorative justice. What can I learn in that area? That's something I'm passionate about. But the woman sent me some videos from another attorney who initially did not believe in restorative justice, did not see the benefits of it, and was really pretty much against it. But the woman who practiced in Washington, D.C., and she had been a public defender before, and I think she was currently a prosecutor now, but she had talked about how she saw the benefits of restorative justice when she was invited in on a session. And she talked about seeing how a young man, Malik, who was an aggressor, a bigger black boy, got into a fight with a smaller black boy named Darren. And it seemed on his face that Malik, the bigger black kid, just pummeled this little smaller black kid. But by virtue of the restorative justice methods that they used in D.C., they brought the families and the boys together in a roundtable sort of event, and they discussed what happened, why the fight occurred, and why the boys were in this situation. By doing that, they found out that the smaller black boy, Darren, and his friends had been teasing Malik for weeks. And Malik finally had had enough, and he snapped. Now, obviously that's not justifiable, that's not acceptable. Violence is just not the way we want to handle things. But the attorney brought something to my attention that I hadn't really considered. And that was that the justice system would normally just take Malik, put him in jail, bring him to court, tell him he has the right to remain silent, and eventually work out a resolution. And he eventually would probably leave with a conviction or at least a probation officer for a certain amount of time on his record, and it would drastically shape the direction of his life, the way his community members and classmates looked at him. And restorative justice, as we know, is a way to curb that and to change that from happening. But the other thing she brought to my attention was the impact it had on Darren, and how Darren was able to see his role in the instigation, his culpability. And by using restorative justice, the victim, who actually was not blameless in this situation, was able to acknowledge his faults and learn from his mistakes, and hopefully not allow this kind of thing to happen again in the future. And I think it's huge. I'm going to attach that video to this video for anybody who wants to watch it. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that if I had ignored that email that I got, ignored that request from that resident to look into that, I wouldn't have thought about it in that way, at least not at this time. And by watching that video and hearing about the program that they had in D.C. and how they implemented restorative justice, it gave me some ideas about things I would want to do here in Washington County, how I might want to do things differently if I become a judge here, and the things we can do to touch our defendants and our complaining witnesses. And addressing both parties is the best way to help the community. Putting Malik in jail, that solves one aspect of it, maybe getting him off the street temporarily, but it doesn't really address the major issue because he's going to be back in our community at some point. And Darren never taking responsibility for his faults doesn't help him learn from his mistakes. And so using that restorative justice approach can really change the way we do things in this community. And I am thankful to the resident who sent me that video, and I'm excited about the wheels that are turning in my mind for how we can create programming here, change the court system here, and be able to touch people in that kind of situation. And so I'm excited about what we can do, and I'm looking forward to winning this position and having the opportunity to work with residents to put together programs like this that can really change the direction of our court system. That's all I have for today. That's today's Tidbit with Torchio. Thank you very much. Please vote for me August 2nd for 14A District Court Judge. Thank you.